Hi everyone. So my audio for this video did not record, so what you hear is not going to match my lips in the video. Not ideal. Here, I'm just letting you know that I'm happy you're here and I'm happy to meet you on your mat, and we're going to do a vinyasa flow today. So let's start in child's pose. Big toes to touch, knees separated or together. Begin to walk your hands forward, lengthening through the spine. Connect the forehead to the earth. Begin to center in as you drop out of the headspace and into the body. We use our breath as an anchor to draw our awareness internal. Inhaling deeply through the nose, allowing the belly to expand. And exhaling slowly through the mouth. Inhale deeply through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Begin to settle into the natural rhythm of your breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Listening to the sound of the breath in the back of the throat and the ears. Begin to find stillness. Tuning into the body, we notice the sensations without self-judgment. Enjoying the breath. I invite you to set an intention for your practice today. Remember, your intention is completely personal. It's up to you. You know, your inner wisdom knows what is best for you. It can be lighthearted or as serious and individualized as you'd like. On your next inhale, begin to ground into your palms, noticing the weight of the forehead and the hands and the arms against the earth. Inhale, walk the fingertips forward, lengthen through the spine. Allow the elbows to lift off of the ground. Breathe in deeply. And let your breath go. Begin to find little micro movements as you shift your shoulders and float the head up. Take your right arm and thread it underneath the left, getting a gentle twist in the spine. And then rest the right temple against the earth. If it doesn't quite reach the ground and it's a little stiff here, please grab a pillow or a blanket to gap that space between the head and the earth. Settle in on your exhale, begin to soften into the shoulder, and stay with the breath. On your next inhale, press into the left palm, unthread the right arm, and we'll switch sides. Right arm is extending to the earth. The left arm will lift up and thread it underneath the right. Gentle twist in the spine. Left temple touches the earth or a pillow. On your exhale, soften into that shoulder. If this begins to pinch the knees in any way, you can lift up your hips and prop them up with a pillow or a blanket underneath, between the heels and the glutes. Press into the right palm, unthread the left arm, and let's stretch through the spine, rounding up into tabletop. We draw our knees underneath the hips, hip width apart, palms right underneath the shoulders. Gently activating the core here. We'll drop the belly on an inhale for cow pose. And exhale for cat, rounding the spine, drawing the navel up, activating the core, press the earth away. And then we'll take some cat-cows here, linking movement to your own breath. Inhaling for cow as we arch the spine. Exhaling for cat as we round the spine. We don't have to overthink it here. It's your own rhythm as you explore into the sensations of your back, your hips, begin to make intuitive movements. Maybe it's half circles, right to left. Bending the elbows, sending the heart to the earth, getting a nice stretch across the chest and in the shoulders. Wiggle the hips. When you're ready, come back into a neutral spine. Shift the left foot over to the side of the mat and draw your left palm more to the center so that we can pivot our hips open and our shoulders will stack. The right leg will extend to the back of the mat. The toes will point toward me. Right arm draws up high to the sky. Inhale here, feel that side body stretch. You can gaze up and over the fingertips or down at your fingertips that are on the ground. Continue to breathe, and on your next inhale, stretch that right arm right over the ear, reaching toward the front of the mat. This will deepen the right side body stretch. For a little more, activate your core and your glutes and float that right leg up hip level. Flex and point the toes, grounding into that palm that's on the earth. Gently release the leg down if it was up. Right arm lifts up high to the sky directly from the shoulder socket, and then exhale, ground the palm underneath the shoulder. Neutralize the spine here. Taking any movements that feel good to stretch it. When you're ready, shift the right foot over to the right side of the mat. Walk the right palm in more to the center of the mat. And when you're ready, open up the hips, extend the left leg to the end of the mat, left arm reaches up high to the sky. Inhale and exhale as you settle into the pose, getting that left side body stretch. Again, you can gaze up and over the fingertips or down to the earth. Breathing, listening to the breath. On your next inhale, reach to the top of the mat. Left arm extends over the ear. If that's too much, scale it back. When you're ready, ground down. Activate the core and glutes and float the left leg up, hip level, flexing and pointing the toes. Continue to breathe. Exhaling, ground the knee and the palm back down, shift into your tabletop. Wiggle out your hips, neutralize the spine, find what feels good. Maybe it's a couple cat-cows. Walk the hands forward an inch or two, tuck your toes, and press yourself up into your first downward facing dog, pedaling out your feet. Tuning into the backside body, we make little movements that help open up the spine, the hips, the hamstrings, the low back. Actively pressing the earth away, we are also challenging the shoulders here. Inhale, float the heels up. Shift your toes to the right and exhale to ground the heels down to the earth, getting a nice little ankle stretch here. Keep a micro bend in your knees. Inhale, float the heels up, shift the toes to the left side of the mat, and exhale to sink the heels down again. Noticing the change in sensation. You might even feel this in your outer calves. Inhale, float the heels up, exhale, sink the heels down. Pedal out the feet, wiggle out the hips, send your heart towards your quads. Inhale to float the right leg up, keeping the hips squared. Really feeling into that left hamstring, strengthening the right glute and hamstring. Exhale to bend the knee, open up the hips, let them stack. Let your spine twist and your heart open up. Make some circles with the ankle and reverse your circles. Inhale to extend that leg up high to the sky, and exhale, sink it down, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up, hips squared, challenging the right hamstring, strengthening the left glute and hamstring. Continuing to actively press the earth away. On your exhale, bend the knee and stack the hips. We'll really feel that in our inner thighs, the left hip flexor. Make some circles with the ankle and reverse your circles. When you're ready, inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, sink the toes down. Inhale, float the heels up, gaze forward, activate the core. And we'll stay high on our toes and lift the legs up, trying only to bend our knees when we get to the point that we need to. We'll walk our toes as close to the palms as we can. When we need to, we can no longer do that. Bend the knees, sink the feet down, and walk them forward into Uttanasana. And we'll ragdoll the upper body, drawing our elbows into the palms, releasing the weight of the head and the upper body to the earth, allowing the belly to touch the thighs. The knees will bend generously here. Wiggle your head out, nod it yes, shake it no. If it feels good, begin to sway right and left. Sink the palms down, lift up halfway, connecting the fingertips to the shins or quads. Gaze slightly forward into the earth to keep the back neck long. Find length in the spine and draw the navel up. Your fingertips might touch the earth if you're super bendy. Either way, find where you're at today. Begin to draw the crown of the head away from the tailbone to find length, and then exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, cactus the arms. Feel that stretch. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, Samastiti. Thumbs to heart center. Begin to tune in to the placement of the feet, making sure they're hip width apart, drawing up and out of the hips by activating our pelvic floor. We grow a little taller. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive it forward. Uttanasana, leading with the heart. Inhale, halfway rise, Adho Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, and step back with your right toes and connect the knee down to the ground. And we'll pause here, making little movements, shifting the hips right and left, getting into the hip flexors. If this is very tight for you, try propping yourself up on your left forearm and just reach for the ground with your right fingertips. And if it's available, make other little movements here, even if you're propping yourself up. Inhale, ground through the foot, Anjaneyasana, lift up out of the hips, reach the arms up. And on your exhale, keeping some activation in the lower core to protect the spine, sink it forward, increasing that stretch across the right hip flexor. Inhale, press up. Exhale, shift it forward in cactus. Inhale, press up and lengthen. Exhale, soften and shift it forward. Inhale, press up. Exhale, circle the palms down. Tuck your right toes. Lift the knee up, round the spine like cat, and step back into plank. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, push up. You can keep your knees down to the earth to modify for that. Exhale, halfway down, chaturanga, pause, and all the way down. Plant your fingertips wider than the mat, preparing for wide cobra. On your inhale, release your glutes, gently press the pelvis down and lift up for wide cobra, shoulders down. And then on the exhale, when you're ready, bring your forehead down to the ground. I'm explaining here that if you feel pinching in your spine, then scale back and lower your heart a little lower to the earth. And remember that in our cobra pose in our cobra pose, we need our toes to press into the earth. All right, forehead down, palms right underneath the shoulders, press back on your exhale for downward facing dog. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Inhale, float your heels up, bend your knees. Exhale, gaze forward and step or hop to the top of your mat. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway rise, Adho Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, prayer pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, lead with the heart and fold forward. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, plant the palms, step back with the left toes, release the knee down, and pause here. You can either untuck your toes or leave them tucked and begin to find little micro movements, shifting in the hips, getting into the left hip flexor here. Remember to keep your knees stacked right on top of the ankle. If you need to, you can prop yourself up on your right forearm, reach your left fingertips down to the earth, and then if it's available in the body, find little micro movements to shift your hips. Inhale, press it up, or help yourself up by using your hands against your quad. Inhale to lengthen, activate your lower core. Exhale, sink it forward and cactus your arms, intensifying the left hip flexor stretch. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to cactus and sink forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus, circle the arms down. Tuck your left toes, lift the knee, scoop in the belly, and step the right leg back into plank. If you need to, release the knee down so that you can step the foot back. Hold plank. Inhale. And exhale, release halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, press up, releasing your knees to support if you need to. Exhale, halfway down and hold. Squeeze elbows to side body and release all the way down. Forehead down, plant your fingertips, tent them to the earth wider than the mat. Release your glutes, press your pelvis down. Inhale, lift up only as far as feels good. Shoulders roll down, wide cobra. Exhale, forehead to the earth. Plant your palms underneath the shoulders, tuck your toes, and lift up and back, exhaling through plank into downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, float your heels up, bend your knees, activate your core, gaze forward, and step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway rise as you lengthen. Exhale, soften and fold. Root to rise. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, long spine. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive it forward, lengthening through the spine. Inhale, Adho Uttanasana, halfway rise, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms, step back with your right toes. Release the knee down and inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, sink it forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink it forward, circle your hands down and step back into plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, press up. Exhale, Chaturanga, halfway down, all the way to the earth. Untuck your toes. And then plant your fingertips wider than the mat. Inhale, wide cobra. Exhale, wave it forward. Forehead down, plant the palms underneath the shoulders close to the top of the rib cage. And exhale through plank to downward facing dog. Inhale deeply, lift the heels up. Exhale, step or hop it forward to the top of your mat. Always looking where we're going. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, lead with the heart. Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, plant the palms, step back with the left toes, release the knee down and root to rise, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, sink it forward as you cactus. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink it forward. Circle the palms to the earth, tuck your left toes, lift the knees, step back with the right toes into plank. On your next exhale, release halfway down and hold all the way to the earth. Untuck your toes, tent your fingertips wider than the mat. Inhale, wide cobra. Exhale, wave it forward, forehead to the earth. Palms underneath the shoulders, tuck your toes, press up and back. Downward facing dog. Nice job. Pedal out your feet. Full breath in, float the heels up. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat, landing as softly as you can using your core. Inhale, halfway rise, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Root to rise on an inhale. In Uttanasana, standing forward fold, bend your left knee, grip your right foot, left palm reaches up high to the sky, getting a gentle twist in the spine. If it feels good on your exhale, extend the reach for the lower back across to your hip. So maybe the right hand touches the left hip socket. Inhale, reach the arm up, and exhale, come back to center. Switch your grip, bend the right knee. Inhale, left arm up. If it's available, you can reach across the low back towards your right hip, opening the heart up toward the sky. Inhale, reach the arm up. Exhale, melt it down, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Activate your core, bend your knees, reach your arms out like a T, and on your next inhale, reach up high to the sky. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, and step or hop back into plank. If you hop, land with bent elbows in chaturanga and exhale all the way down. Untuck your toes. Inhale for upward facing dog. Lifting the knees off of the earth, we shine our heart forward. Exhale, activate your core and roll over the toes into downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up, bend the knee, open up the hips, and exhale, draw your right knee to your right elbow or shoulder. Inhale, sweep the leg up, bend the knee, open up the hips. Exhale, right knee, right shoulder or elbow. Inhale, sweep the leg up, bend the knee. Exhale, draw the knee to the elbow and then to your nose. Step the foot forward between the palms. Plant your left foot at a diagonal for warrior one and root to rise. Inhale. And exhale to settle into the pose. Make sure the right knee is stacked on top of the ankle. On your next exhale, interlace your fingers at your low back. Inhale, stretch your heart up. Reach your fists down toward the earth. Activate your low core and exhale, hinge it forward from the hips. Long spine. And send your upper body either to hover above the right knee or the right shoulder can come inside of the right knee. And we're gently reaching the palms off of the low back if it's available. If we need to bend our elbows, that's okay. Over time, we might get our arms straighter. Be kind, listen in to what your shoulders are saying. Root to rise, unlace the hands, warrior one. Reaching up. Reach your right fingertips down to your left thigh, and on your inhale, reach that left arm up. Exhale, circle the arms down. Plant your palms and step back into your plank, taking any variation you'd like. Exhaling through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up, bend the knee and open up the hips. Try and keep your shoulders squared. Exhale, left knee, left elbow or shoulder. Inhale, sweep the leg up and back, bend the knee, open up the hips. Exhale, left knee, left elbow or shoulder. Inhale, sweep the leg up and back, bend the knee. Exhale, left knee to left elbow or higher. Draw the knee to the chest or nose and step the foot between the palms. Ground the right foot down for warrior one. Hips are closed, root to rise on an inhale, sweep the arms up, bending into that left knee. Interlace the fingers at the low back. Inhale, stretch the heart up. Exhale, hinge it forward from the hips. Lead with the heart and find your edge here for humble warrior. Interlace the fingers. Make sure the fists are lifted off of the low back if it's available. Gazing back at your right toes. Settle into your pose, staying with your breath. Root to rise, unlace the hands. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, left fingertips reach back. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, circle the arms down, plant the palms. Come high onto the right toes and step back with your left foot into your plank variation. Exhaling through chaturanga. Inhaling for upward facing dog. Exhaling for down dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, float your heels up, bend your knees. Exhale, gaze forward and step or hop it to the top of your mat, landing softly. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, plant the palms and step or hop it back to your plank into chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up, bend the knee. Exhale, right knee, right elbow or higher. Inhale, sweep it back. Exhale, knee to shoulder. Inhale, sweep it back. Exhale, knee to elbow or shoulder, option to take a balance here. Otherwise, hold your knee. And then take your knee to your chest. Plant the foot forward. Left foot grounds and root to rise on an inhale for warrior one. Exhale, interlace the fingers at the low back. Inhale, shine the heart upward. Exhale, humble warrior. Finding your edge. Inhale, root to rise, sweep the arms up. Exhale, open up into warrior two, pivoting your left toes to the side of the mat. Either pigeon toeing your left foot, switching sides here, or making it parallel to the back of the mat. The right knee should be stacked on top of the ankle. There we go. Lunge it forward so your knee is stacked right on top of the ankle. Open up your arms and open up the knee so that you can see your big toe. Gaze forward. Inhale, lift up and back, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Left arm reaches up from the shoulder. You can reach down inside or outside of the foot to the earth or block. And if it's available and you want to deepen that side body stretch, you can take your arm toward the top of the mat or reach it behind you for a half bind. When you're ready, inhale, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the arms down and step back into your plank. Exhaling through chaturanga, inhaling for upward facing dog, and exhaling for downward facing dog. Full breath in, lift that left leg up, bend the knee, and on your exhale, left knee draws to the left elbow or higher. Inhale, three-legged dog, open hips. Exhale, left knee, left elbow or higher. Inhale, bend the knee and stack the hips. Exhale, left knee, left elbow or higher to hold or take your arm balance here. Holding, and then draw the knee to center. Plant the foot between your palms, ground the right foot, and root to rise for warrior one. Exhale to interlace the fingers at the low back. Inhale, shine your heart upward. Exhale, humble warrior. Inhale, root to rise, warrior one. Exhale, open up into warrior two. Continue to stay with your breath as you find the adjustments for your alignment, shifting the knee open, stacking the knee on top of the ankle, gazing forward, shoulders stacked on top of the hips. Shoulders roll back. Inhale, reach up and over, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach the arm up, the right arm. You can also reach your left arm down to the earth, inside or outside of the leg. Right arm might reach over to the top of the mat to hover over the right ear. Or it reaches behind you, across the low back for a half bind. The goal is to swivel the heart open to find a little bit of a twist in the upper body. Inhale that arm up. And root to rise for warrior two. Exhale to cartwheel the arms down and step that left leg back into plank, either to hover or not. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Deep breath in. Shine the heart forward. And exhale for a child's pose. Knees can go wide or together, whatever feels best in your hips and your low back. Reach those arms forward or back. Any variation of child's pose that feels good for you. Forehead grounds down and we restore the breath for a few breaths here. I like to take my palms together and send my thumbs to the back of the neck to get an extra upper arm stretch. Listen to the breath. And we match the inhales to the exhales, slowing them down in order to stabilize the heart rate. Ground into the palms, and on your inhale, roll up into tabletop. And begin to walk the hands forward for puppy pose. Getting a little bit of a heart opener here. So in puppy pose, our hips are stacked on top of the knees are hip width apart. And on the inhale, we begin to extend the arms as far forward as we can while sending the heart down to the ground. And when you're first starting out in puppy pose, a lot of times the forehead is what we touch down. And then maybe it's the nose, and then over time we might be able to get our chin down. Again, using a block, pillows, or blanket to bridge that space between the head and the earth if we're not quite reaching the head down. Keep a light activation in your lower core. We are arching the spine and sending the heart down toward the earth, but don't collapse into it. Protect your back. When you're ready, ground into the palms, walk the hands back. Draw your knees in. We're taking our knees hip width apart so that we can come to stand on our shins or tuck the toes. We're coming into camel pose. You're going to want to take your hands to that triangular flat part of your lower back, which is your sacrum. We'll squeeze our elbows a little closer together. Collarbone opens up. Imagine a beach ball behind you, and we're lifting up and over it using our core, pressing the hips forward. Shining the heart up and open. Over time, you might feel comfortable enough to reach for your heels with one or both hands. If not, leave your hands at the low back. You can drop your head back to gaze behind you, or keep strength in the neck as you gaze up toward the sky. Continue to breathe, coming out of the pose at any time. When you're ready, if you haven't already, start to lift up, take your hands to your low back if they weren't already there, and soften to sit against your heels. Again, using a pillow or a blanket for some support between the glutes and heels if needed. And here we're just going to nurture the heart space by taking one hand over the belly, one hand over the heart, and restoring our breath. You might shut down your eyes, but what I'm explaining here is that sometimes in camel pose, we might get sensations of discomfort. Sometimes if it's like really hot and you're sweating, even nausea, and that's normal. It's vulnerable to open up our heart space and to flip our perspective by looking behind us. So really be kind to yourself as you restore from that pose. When you're ready, come to sit down on your hips, extend your legs forward. Keep a little micro bend in the knees. Flex or floint your toes, and on your exhale, soften and send your heart forward as you fold. When you start to feel that tension in the body, allow your spine to round and let the head roll forward, and we'll melt into this. Relaxing the upper body as best as we can with every exhale. Letting go. Softening with your exhales, settling into the pose. Notice what the mind does when something is really uncomfortable or it's tense. How can we use our breath, a slower breath, a softening on the exhales, to calm our response? And just observe the body here, observe the mind without self-judgment. Just notice. And then on an inhale, begin to walk the hands back. Lift the upper body up and step the right leg to the side. Left foot draws to the inner thigh. Inhale, lift the arms up and turn toward the right toes. There's a little bit of a twisting action happening here. And the left knee, if you need to prop it up with a block or pillow or a blanket, please do so if there's like a big gap between the knee and the earth. And then again on the exhale, we'll send our heart toward the toes. Keep a micro bend in the right knee, some activation in that foot to protect the knee. When you find that edge, allow the upper body to really round forward and exhale to soften into it. I'm just explaining here that when we sit into a pose like this, when we soften into it for 2 to 4 minutes, we're getting into the myofascials of our joints, and it's this tissue that really helps us to increase flexibility when we are supporting it, when we're supported in our poses rather than using muscular strength purely to hold ourselves. So you can also prop your head into your palm by putting your elbow down on the earth or a block. Allow yourself to just find that edge. If you need to walk your hands back, you can. Inhale, lift up. Take your palm, lift your knee, and switch your legs. Left leg goes out diagonally. Right foot comes to the inner thigh, supporting the right knee as needed. Sometimes one hip is more open than the other, and that's normal. Flex your left toes. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, reach your arms up. Exhale, twist toward the toes, send your heart forward. There's this little energetic twist happening with the heart and the spine so that we can get our shoulders and our chest in alignment with the toes. When you find your edge, allow your upper body to round forward. Allow your head to bow forward and soften on the exhales into your fold. This is our half butterfly fold. Listen to the breath. If you want to rest your chin in your palm again, feel free to rest it in your left hand with your elbow against a block or earth. Continue to breathe, observe the body and its response to sitting for a long time or an extended period of time in a pose without self-judgment. Inhale, walk the hands back, come back to center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Take your hand and help your right knee up. Step your feet hip width apart in front of you, knees bent, and begin to windshield wiper them left to right with your hands behind you for support. When you're ready, scoot your hips up to the top of your mat. Point your toes. Press your hands behind you. Shine your sternum forward between your shoulders. Lengthen through the spine. Find that spot where you can start to find balance and lift your feet up, maybe one at a time or both. Flex your feet, take your hands to the backs of your thighs, and if you're ready, extend your arms forward, finding what works for you. Let's interlace our fingers or hold with your arms out in front of you. But if you want to add on for an oblique core workout, we're going to twist right to left here. Continuing to twist right, left, 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 twist, 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 right, left, and come back to center. I was saying I really felt that in my hip flexors that day. All right, let's begin to lower down, hollow body. If you need to just relax on the ground at this point, you can, but if you want a little more, let's lower our shoulders and our legs to hover above the earth, activating our core, scooping in the belly. And if you can, on your next exhale, hug your knees in and come to rise. See if you can keep your feet hovering, but if you need to, tap your toes down to help support you. Inhale, hollow body, release gently down to hover. Exhale, hug your knees in and rise. Inhale, hollow body. Exhale, hug your knees in and rise. Inhale, hollow body. And let's begin to scissor our feet, crisscrossing them. You got it. Keep going. And cross, 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 cross. Holding, and release to the earth. Inhale, stretch your arms up and overhead. Point your toes, step your feet together. And on your exhale, hug both knees into your chest, giving yourself lots of love as you extend the length of the spine down to the ground. Begin to rock your knees right to left and give your low back a little bit of a massage here against the earth. It can feel really good. Releasing the hips, releasing the low back. Breathing, stabilizing the breath. Extend the left leg forward, hug the right knee in, really sending the toes forward when you do that. It helps you feel that in the left hip flexor. When you're ready on your exhale, guide your right knee over to the left, open up your right arm, and if it's available in the neck, gaze over the right arm. If it's not, then just gaze upward. Your left hand can be resting against the right outer thigh. Giving yourself your own assist in your twist here. Feels really good in our outer hips and glutes. Inhale, hug the knee in. More toward the armpit this time, so we're opening up that knee and that hip. Then when you're ready, exhale, switch legs, hug the left knee in, point the right toes, feeling that hip flexor, really stretch. And when you're ready, on your exhale, we'll guide the left knee over to the right, using your right hand. And then open the left arm up. If it's available in the neck, gaze over the left arm. If it's not, you can just look up. Again, assisting your own twist with your right hand outside of the left quad. Just resting or maybe a little gentle pressure here. This is supine twist. Stay with the breath, noticing your inhales and exhales. Softening on the exhales. Inhale to hug that left knee into the left armpit, opening up that hip. Hands on shin instead of knee. When you're ready, hug the right knee in and then make some circles, leading with your knees in and out, lubricating the hip joints here. Right, go ahead and settle into a little half ball and begin to use your core to lift your hips up for a quick inversion. We're going to take a shoulder stand. So your hands can go to your low back or sacrum. And we're seeking to get the ankles, knees, and hips in alignment using our core strength and our arm strength as you press your upper arms and elbows into the earth. Continue to breathe here, trying to keep the throat open and free. If it's available in the body, sustain this pose with just your kind of your arm strength by taking the arms down to the ground and reaching to the top of the mat. Simultaneously, we'll exhale and sink the toes back for a little more for plow pose. Maybe the toes touch the earth. This really gets into the low back. Feels so good over time. We're getting our heart over our head when we take this pose. In shoulder stand or plow pose, it's a really nice way to relieve feelings of lethargy and maybe even lower blood pressure. Inversions. The benefits of inversions leave us feeling more energized and can decrease sensations of depression. And of course, we're toning our core and strengthening our core muscles in our shoulders, increasing our flexibility in the low back and in our hamstrings. All right, let's go ahead and take happy baby here after lowering yourself back down to the earth. Inhale, hug your knees in. Taking a nice deep breath. Squeeze everything into a nice tight ball. And when you're ready, exhale to release your arms wider than the mat, the feet wider than the mat. Shut down the eyes. Let go of any pranayama breath control if you were paying attention to your Ujjayi breath. We can breathe normally now. My video stopped, but you can still hear my voice. The idea here is that we find complete relaxation in the body, complete stillness, just breathing to allow the nervous system to restore here in Shavasana. Take Shavasana for as long as you need to. And enjoy your time on your mat and in your body, relieving stress and healing the energies and the body itself. It was a pleasure and honor to practice with you today. Stay here in Shavasana for as long as you need to, Yogi. Namaste.